Hello all. In this video, we will look into the difference between HTML4 and HTML5. These are the two different versions which have been very popular in creating static and dynamic web pages. Some of the differences uh, from the release date. There is a huge difference between the release date of HTML4 and 5 version. HTML5 focus more on the structure of the document and support some semantic elements which will help us to divide the blocks of the web page into different forms. It may be an article, it may be a header, it may be a navigation toolbar, it may be a footer. These all things were implemented with the help of a div element in HTML4, but the div was common for all the blocks, which is being customized with the help of id attribute. But in HTML5 we have separate tags for every block of the page, and declaration or information about the document is made very simple with the help of doc type element, and more multimedia, audio, and graphical features are being supported by HTML5 with exclusive elements as figure, audio, and video. A separate canvas display is given to implement a 2D and 3D graphical structure. And apart from that, uh, the display controls HTML5 automatically adjust the display if it is being browsed using a mobile device. That is based on device, the display controls are being automatically updated. New form controls are given. It may be a date, calendar, time, or color picker. More number of options are being added apart from 13 standard controls which are being supported by HTML4. The detail elements and the differences will be guided in the next coming up sections, but today we are going to look into the HTML4 and 5 code structure, execute a sample code with the help of specific editors in this video. So HTML4, the division in a general or a static web page has a header. Header includes the organization or a company information with the name of the company, with the logo of the company and all those data. The nav bar used to give some link or some linked information of the institute or the company. Articles are the content which you want to display in the work area of the page. So this is a footer to display the contact information. These elements are supported by HTML5 rather than HTML4. We implement with the help of a div tag. This is the major difference, display or structural difference, which has been implemented by semantic HTML5 elements. Various editors to write the code, whether it is HTML4 or 5. We have a lot of editors which will help us to write the HTML code and execute with the client browsers or client side or web browsers. All the browsers will support both HTML4 and HTML5. So this is a sample HTML4 code wherein we have discussed the structure of HTML in the previous videos. You can look into those videos to understand what do you mean by head and what do you mean by body. But this is a very simple part of HTML code, wherein in header session some sample content is given, which will carry the content to display on the title bar of the page, and body some messages specified, and this completely tagged in between the HTML element. And HTML5 code, you can observe a small difference here as we have doc type as specified in the beginning of the video. Doc type will specify the version of HTML we are using and simplified with the help of a standard doc type element. And as I was mentioning, based on the device whichever is used to display the page, the size and the content is automatically adjusted in HTML5, which is specified using a meta and a viewport properties. These are the very basic difference between HTML4 and HTML5 code. Now we will execute HTML4 and HTML5 content with the help of a standard um, text editor and the browser document. So in order to execute the HTML code, if I have to enter the code, I can use any type of text editor. I'm using Notepad. So the structure of the HTML goes like this: a starting of HTML and ending of HTML. In between, we have a header section which carries the information, uh, pre-execution information. It may be a script, it may be a meta tag, it may be a CSS. Okay, and body session which will help us to display the content in the white or work area. Okay, so I will just give the details here. Just welcome message is the sample HTML4 code. That's it. To save the document, we use the regular method of saving as file save. Specify the name of the document demo for 4.html. The extension goes same both for HTML4 or HTML5. I'm storing it with the save. Now to execute, we will browse our document which is being stored in the folder. Then right click the document, open with any of the browsers which we were discussing in the session. So whatever content is given as it is displayed. Now HTML5, how do I execute? For that, we can implement it with any of the text editors which have been discussed just now. So this is a Sublime editor. Just install it in the system. Then you are supposed to go to View, Syntax, and many syntax are being supported with the editor. We are supposed to select the syntax what we are using it in the active document. So I'm selecting it as HTML. Then we have to specify the initial element is HTML. So when you type HTML, you can see here some labeling is given which is S and T. S indicates the syntax or the snippet and T indicates for the tag. So I select it as HTML and immediately you can observe the entire code without typing. In HTML4, I'm using a standard notepad, so I'm supposed to type the complete code of the document. But when I move to the Sublime text or the advanced text editors, I need to just to set the syntax, configure the syntax, and just to type H. So automatically select the snippet whichever you want to display, and automatically code is displayed. These two tags help us to set the automatic width for based on the device which is being used to browse the page. So here we can even use the regular elements. Select the elements. A pop-up display is given based on the editor we use. So once I select the element, the starting and closing tags are being displayed. So I'll select the same. Welcome to HTML5. The new additions here, let's take I want to mark specific content, highlight a specific content. This is new. Okay, so save the document. Saving the document is same as the method which we discussed in notepad. New name will be given demo 5.html. Okay, save. And execution, from here we can run the project, or else the same method we can use as go to the active folder, open it in the Chrome. So you can see welcome to HTML4 and this is the new addition. So this part of marking is given, highlighting is given with the help of a mark element which I have implemented in HTML5. You can ask me, can we use the same in HTML4? Yes, I can use mark. This is new one only in 5. So I'm closing my mark element. Now observe the change. I'll open HTML4 and execute. So this is the change. So like that, more number of elements are supported by 4 and 5. We look into each element in detail in coming up classes.